Well, I think these people are living like gods.
They have so much more access to everything that other than we do.
This is where we hang out last night.
I don't think I'll have much happiness left in this life.
We're not even on the map for the weather.
Yeah, he sees them having a rough time, and in today's world,
We're all responsible for the maintenance of the gun, so it's working correctly out in the field.
They know that if I stay with someone here, I'm gonna get stuck eventually.
Do you feel like people down south are so lucky and they don't even know it?
Yes, they have everything they want, and they still want more.
And you know they say that once you turn a certain age, you'll start making your own choices instead of your parents telling you what to do here and there.
Living beside a town like this make up for the hardships of being in the army, you think?
No, not really. Nothing really could ease that part of things. So.
I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't feel right. This is not how I should be feeling. I don't like this feeling.
Like, I don't try put my hopes so high where, it's just go a day by day, and if you go past that day, then you can look forward to another good day, even if it's bad.
My parents keep telling me that I can make it.
This is the place I'm staying now.
She's come along leaps and bounds. I wish I had 10 of her.
I want that life right there. And I want to be smart, and I want to travel everywhere, but I don't want to leave my parents. I think cities are cool, but I love my hometown. Most of the teens call it Ulu.
Ulu?
Yeah, short for Ulu Hakdok.
It's awesome.
It's Ulu, baby.
So what's the general feeling about RCMP and Uluhaktok?
They're cool.
Some of them are real a-holes.
What would Holman be like if there was no RCMP here, you think?
Really scary.
Riot.
It's really good that we got police officers here.
Mm-hmm.
There's some enforcement with them, but I can't see them doing a lot because nobody wants to put anybody away, so they don't really charge people around here anymore.
Right now, I'm good in Polytech until my boys grow up a bit older, and myself and Justin, we just do our best with what we can in Polytech.
What's your name?
James.
Where do you live, James? You like living here?
Yeah.
You got good friends in Polytech?
Yeah.
Like these folks here?
Yeah. How do you guys like Polytech?
Oh, good.
Yeah?
I like the canteen.
How much does a can of pop cost here at Northern?
$1.99 now.
And
since the barge came.
What was the price before the barge came?
$4.86.
$4.86 for a can of pop?
Yeah.
well, most of us started having pop when we were like 5 years old, so we just got attached to it.
Brittany, what kind of pop do you like?
Grape.
Grape pop?
How much is a can of pop at Northern?
Can of pop is maybe $5.60 something. I went shopping. I bought like 6 pop and I didn't know I spent $30-some. Pop is like the main thing that people buy all the time. So they know that. So they put the prices on because they know people would buy pop no matter what. But pop is the one big thing that people love in this town.
I wonder
And
why.
It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We all like pop.
But isn't it making people have diabetes and all that?
Diabetes? Well, it's their choice to drink it. So is mine.
During the evening, there's always a whole bunch of us running around it. We're out here, and then we go to another place we're there, and then everybody's wondering what to do, and I would say it's so boring, but either way, they always get through the night, and that day passes, it comes again. What are we going to do today, What's
I always try to make every night a night to remember.
It's very simple here. It's really quiet. There's no trains at night. And you know everybody. Talk to everybody on the road. shallow. You barely get a smile, maybe, if you talk to them, try.
Really? Even though you're all on the same army regiment?
Yeah.
Hey, so your brothers, are they they're not your biological brothers then?
No.
So your brothers are Larry and Helen's like biological kids?
No.
No?
No. I'm the only child.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then why did you call everybody else your brother?
I call him my brother because it's like we know each other well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about yesterday? You were introducing me to Ryan and
Ryan?
Clayton.
Ryan, he's
Yeah.
my half brother. We have the same dads,
Okay.
but we don't have the same moms.
Okay.
And I'm adopted from my biological mom.
Yeah.
And my brother Ryan is with his adoptive dad, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we have the same dad, but he's staying with his dad that probably adopted him. Yeah, his dad adopted him, right?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Joshua?
Do you ever find it like confusing to explain when like somebody new meets you and asks you this kind of thing?
Yeah. It's hard. And I have so many sisters and brothers.
Yeah.
I just found out about one. Like this early year.
Oh yeah?
Her name's Catherine.
Uh-huh.
She's like 20 years old and she's like the tomboy. She's so cool. She helps out all the guys for the muskox harvest.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, I
in
know
Sax
her.
Harbor.
When did you know that you were adopted, or is that pretty common in Politok?
It's common. Everybody's adopted. But the young kids today, they're not letting their grandparents adopt their kids. They can watch them. I guess a long time ago, our parents, it was very different. Like, wasn't much of a town. There wasn't much of a store. So it was strictly on the land and stuff. So our grandparents, I guess they had to take the kids because the other kids were just learning too.
Wow. So did your mom have you when she was pretty young?
I guess maybe 19. Yeah. Me and my sister got adopted when we were kids, so we didn't know too much about our parents until we were like 15, maybe 12, 15.
Wow.
Wasn't really a big shock. It's like, hey, you're my sister. No, you're my mom.
And did your grandma raise you by herself?
Yep.
Wow.
Me and Selena.
So you have a like pretty good relationship now with your mom though, like getting to know her and everything?
Yeah, we all knew each other. So nothing changed.
Look, watch it, Brenna, watch it.
We became closer when she joined the army.
Do you ever watch the news and see what's going on in Afghanistan?
Yeah, I watch a lot of army things since Esther went in there. I see a lot of rough things. That's why I worry a lot.
Do you think she's ready?
I don't know. I really don't know.
And as a mother, like, I guess you never want to see your child do something like that. Have you ever convinced her, like, try to convince her to do something different?
Yeah, I did a few times. We had got into little arguments about why she's trying to go in that kind when I really understand what it's all about. And that's what she wants. She's really stubborn about it. I got no choice to stand behind her. She's gonna do it anyway.
Is it common in your community for young girls to leave and go somewhere else to further themselves?
I never see that until I see Lanita and Esther.
Well, We're in the 1 RCHA building here, the 1st Regiment, and my job is to be a gunner, to work as a team with 7 or 8 other guys on the guns here. And we deploy out in the field for training exercises and support other people for their training exercises, so that's mostly what we do.
And how long have you been here for in Shiloh?
I've been in Shiloh for a year and a couple of months.
What was it like when you first got here?
It was really big for me. This building was way more big. I know where to go now, so it's really good that I'm settled in here. So.
Was it kind of difficult in the beginning? You said you might be kind of shy when you first started?
Yeah, I didn't know anybody here, so it took a long time for me to make friends and get encouraged enough to talk to people.
But how do you feel now?
I say hi to everybody. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. I smile a lot. I talk to people. It's no problem now.
When she first got here, she was pretty quiet. I wouldn't say boo to a goose, but she gets more involved now with the boys and stuff like that. So when she's in the field, she applies what she's done and what she knows to a pretty good standard, actually. So she's going to be a key member of the team.
What sorts of things are you responsible for when you're working on this gun?
For maintenance, we have to make sure the barrel is nice and clean inside. There's no debris. There's any gray spots there for rust. Rust has to be taken off. Make sure the sights are always fixed. Your brakes work. The trails can open properly. We're all responsible for the maintenance of the gun, so it's working correctly out in the field.
Well, the pictures of her summer holiday back in Politick were amazing. And I got a chance when we were teaching her on the last driver's course to actually go through her photos while she was out in the field. And it stunned me to think what a huge change it must have been for her to go from Politick last year to Shiloh, Manitoba this year.
Well, why did you decide to leave Politick?
To run away, I guess, from problems. I don't think it's a good choice, but I couldn't live here anymore.
Do you have a name for this place?
No.
No?
That's the one thing you really need here.
Yeah, youth center.
You guys don't have one?
No. There used to be a swimming camp, like at the First River, and I really miss that. I used to always go, and we had a swimming coach, and she was teaching us how to swim and everything, to dive, and we had change rooms, but they burnt them down.
At the hall, there's a new ping pong table, so that's going to be something new for the youth here. Rec coordinator always hires some workers, and then they'll get together one day and talk about the stuff they should get for the youth here at the hall. And once they figure out what they need, then they'll get it, like pool tables or foosball tables and gym equipment and stuff like that.
You have foosball here?
Foosball?
Yeah.
It's broken.
I don't think I'll have much happiness left in this life, so I'm going to do what I can.
Well, you're 23?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you still got a long way to go.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't really want to live that long.
I used to think that when I was young. I used to think I want to die by the time I'm 40.
Me, by the time I'm 25.
Really?
That was the choice I made when I was 15.
Now you're scaring me because then I only know you for like 2 more years.
I thought that because nothing was going to change, I was always going to live here. But if I had something else to live for, like a really nice boyfriend, I'd stay alive.
And do your parents like it that you're dating somebody from not Uluhatok, like from outside of the community?
They really, really like that. Because they know that if I stay with someone here, I'm going to get stuck eventually, like have children and stay stuck here and work at the northern store or something like that. My mom keeps telling me that I can do it, I can graduate and I can travel everywhere I want. And I can find someone who could really love me and do everything, and we can do everything together and travel and everything.
Healthy relationships. I know you have to talk to each other. You have to understand what people are going through. And even though something bad happens, you still have to talk to each other. Communication is the biggest thing in the relationship. Some people don't get communication too well. They think communication is fighting, telling them what to do by showing your fist or slapping somebody. All the people that I know has always been fighting, hurting each other. They just don't talk about what's going on first. They make the wrong choices. They say something without thinking about it.
So if you could step this way a little. That's great. If you could come forward a little. Perfect. So this is, can you tell me what's happening today?
We're just learning the simple steps of what we're going to be learning throughout this month. It's about oil and gas.
We're going to have the 30-inch and the 10-inch in the same pipeline corridor.
We learned about all the things we could do, occupations we could have out on the land. It's so cool.
How is Inuvik different from Uluhatok?
It's like way more cars and we only have skidoos and it's so big compared to where I live. The people on the streets that I don't even know. And then, you know, we get that feeling, it's like, oh my goodness, it's so scary. And then we are like, okay, because we're with our friends. I came here with 250, and then I got 120 the next day, and now I got only $15 left.
Do you think Inuvik's kind of like so fun that it's really easy to lose money, like spend too much and stuff?
It's really like, you know, our parents tell us not to spend our money like crazy, spend it wisely, but it's so hard because we're so tempted at our age, as they say. I'm staying with Nellie Cornier. She's so cool to hang out with.
Oh, there you are, Chelsea. Where are you going to go tonight?
To Micah's.
For how long? But you got to be back by 10, eh?
Yeah.
The latest?
Yeah.
But 9:30 would be preferable.
Okay.
Here's a little bit of money and here's a polar bear.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you later.
Okay. We could talk about anything during the night and then we phone each other during the day and ask how we're doing. She's really cool.
How many of you are taking this course?
There's 13 of us in total.
Why are you taking it?
It's an awesome opportunity for my future.
So what's it like for you to come back to politics after you've been away for so long?
It's like a dream. I'm quiet here, but I feel really happy that I'm back. I'm so happy to see these all shining.
Do you find that the work ethics, like the idea of, you know, being so regimented, wake up this time, do this, is really different from Politic?
Yeah, it's completely, maybe the opposite.
What is Politic like?
There's no time. The sun doesn't really set.
In the summer.
Yes. And people do work and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not forced upon them. And it's not really forced upon us, but we do it anyway.
I guess, but to do well in the army though, like you have to fulfill like certain standards and qualifications, right?
Yeah.
Are you worried about leaving next year to go to Afghanistan?
No. Absolutely no worries.
How do you deal with the idea, like, in your head?
I'm gonna go to a different place that I'll learn a lot of stuff from. I don't know what it's gonna be like out there. A lot of people that have come back, they tell us how it's gonna be, but it's different for everybody, whether they like it there or not.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's gonna be. Maybe when stress hits us, it's gonna be horrible. But I don't get too panicky. But we'll see what happens. All of us have to rely on each other. The guys are relying on me to help them. I'm relying on them to help me. We're both there to make sure no one gets hurt. So there's a big trust in the gun decks. You have to do your job so they don't do their job twice as hard.
So you're almost leaving, eh?
Couple of more days and I'll be gone.
Yeah.
I wish I can go AWOL and just stay here. But if I can't go to Afghanistan, then I might as well quit the army because that's what I want to do. So,
why do you think you might not go to Afghanistan?
My health. I'm not eating the native food around here. So my body's starving. It's slowly breaking down. And I don't think it's gonna heal anytime soon. The pills I'm taking are not making much of a difference. Low on iron, anemic. So.
But you never had that problem before?
I was eating meat every day. Martuk and fish every day. I don't like showing weakness.
I like to have like a car and a 2-story house with a garage and a nice backyard with nice flowers and everything like that.
What is school to you? Like, is it just a place where you are forced to go, or is it a place where you want to go?
It's where I want to go. Where I want to pursue my dreams in becoming a science teacher. You need to go to school, you need to graduate, go to college, go to university. You get an awesome job, you get that house. But your house is right there. How you're going to have it in your hometown, or you can't even leave anybody. All your family is in this one town, but you really want to go over here. But it's so hard to choose.
Do you miss home at all yet?
I cried actually like 10 times.
Already?
Yeah, for my mom.
Aww.
I really miss my mom.
Aww. What did you do when you missed her?
I just gave her a call and she said it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be busy with homework, so it's gonna be good.
Yeah. How many days have you been here?
4 days. I got $9 left.
Out of how much?
370, and I've been here only for a weekend. It's like nobody has them at home, so I thought I'd just get them my own style.
So fashion aside, what else do you like about Inuvik? What fun things have you been doing?
Just babysitting with my friends, hanging out, going to the roost, and checking out cute guys. Look at that cute guy. Number 5. Yeah, he looks so cute.
Film them coming through.
Good game. Hi. Hi, good game.
Good game. What are you doing here?
Nothing.
Where are you from?
With a hot dog.
Cool. Do you like hockey?
Yeah.
Like, how do you see like Paulatuk as a place for people to grow up?
The only thing I could see, there's nothing here, and the school is not that good. The only thing good about being in Paulatuk is mostly hunting, and you get hunting skills, really good hunting skills, but there's nothing else. For me anyway, that's the way I think.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Esther's out there.
Yeah.
But not that far out there.
Growing up in this community is really hard for young people because it's easy to get in trouble. Like there's so much things you can get in trouble with, but then you just have to have that support again and role models. Like with my mom, she was strict with us, but that was a good strict, like where she taught us good values of to listen and to try learn new things, and that's what I do with my job. And with this being such an isolated place, youth need people to talk to that will listen to them, and that's what I'm there for. And adults actually come to me too to talk to, and I'm glad that they see me as someone they can go to.
Tough stuff in life. Well, these guys go through a lot. Like the teenagers have been through a lot here. I think it's very hard for them, but they still make it through. And they have each other. That's why there's a lot of teenagers here. They have each other to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
So they help each other out.
Your back is covered. Yeah, how was that all-in-guest thing?
The ELS program?
Yeah.
It was fun. I was so interested in everything. I learned a lot of new things about oil.
I also went on that DL's program too. I actually wish I didn't smoke while I was in Nunavik. I missed out on one of the greatest opportunities I had for a job.
Calgary.
Oh, I get it now. Because you were part of that course too?
But I went the year before she did.
Oh, and then you both failed the drug test?
Because I smoked before I went there.
Yeah.
And it was still in my system, and I was there for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I cried so hard when I found out I had to come back home. Because I could have gone to Calgary. Calgary is so huge, and here it's so beautiful. Well, you see your friend smoking weed, right? And then you're like, okay, what should I do? Should I smoke this or should I stay normal? Should I get high with my friends or just be an outsider or something like that? The way I finally got down to the part where I stopped smoking weed, I was thinking while I was stoned, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't feel right. This is not how I should be feeling. I don't like this feeling. And then I just stopped from there. And you eat a lot when you're stoned, right? So, yeah, that's how I stopped.
And they say that once you turn a certain age, you'll start making your own choices instead of your parents telling you what to do here and there. So then you're out with your friends and they're out at another place, so they're smoking and you're just watching them. There's a whole bunch of them. They're laughing and smoking their weed, and you start thinking to yourself, do you want to try this? Because they say life is an experience. You test it out first, and if you like it, you'll keep going. But then again, thinking about it, it's like this shouldn't be the way it should go. You should be free of weed and alcohol.
The guys always ask if I want to go to the bars, but drinking has I don't care for it. It's just another headache, or people get into a lot of trouble, so I don't care for drinking.
Mm-hmm. Well, drinking is definitely one of the big issues in Paulatuk. Did you notice any difference with the alcohol restriction thing?
No, but it has slowed down a bit. Certain people slowed down a bit.
When you were growing up, was drinking already a big issue, or was it kind of later on, in the past 10 years, that it has become worse?
I think it was very worst in the past 10 years. Not this year's, but when I was a kid, I drank. I don't know why, but I drank with all the other kids. And I got through that phase when I grew up. It wasn't fun anymore. It didn't make sense.
Oh, like firstly, how did you even get money to buy alcohol, and where would you even get alcohol?
From the people that sells alcohol, yes.
Bootleggers?
Yeah. Do you want to check it there?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, how do people get young kids to start drinking? Like, what do you know about that?
I don't know. I shouldn't be saying stuff about drinkers or bootleggers.
Yeah.
I don't want to put anybody on the spot, and I don't want them to know I was saying anything about them.
Yeah. It's really political, eh? It's like, I feel like you almost feel like anything you say might get somebody pissed off or somebody else upset.
Yes, it will if you did put that down, people would get mad.
Yeah.
And they would start attacking my family here when I'm gone.
Whoa.
Why is there such pressure to be act tough and be all gangster? Where does that come from?
You know, like songs, music videos, the television, the music that people listen to, and the clothes that they're like, how they look. I think so. That's probably it.
Do you find your parents or, people in your community very different from what you see on TV?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
I think about, like, the clothes we're wearing now and the houses we're living in right here. If we never met the Europeans, we could have been still living in tents and igloos and would have never been wearing these modern clothes.
That's true, but then you would probably have to marry a trapper and skin 200 muskrats a night.
Yeah.
Do you think life would be harder or maybe easier in some ways?
It would be hard trying to get food, but it would be easier for rent. So much easier. This is what we would have been living in.
It's kind of scary, this field she's getting into. Well, now we found out she's going to Afghanistan to as part of her job, and that's scary. Holy cow! But that's what she wants to do. She started off, I guess, strengthening herself through a lot of tragedy in her family. Her dad died, her uncles, and I guess she acquired strength from that. She saw it in her mom. Her granny adopted her, and started getting strength from there. And her mother always talked in Inuvialuktun as much as she can to her girls and her boys, grandchildren. And I think from there Esther started getting into cultural things, drum dancing.
You two are partners, you two. You'll be my partner. Right there. You boys come a little bit closer. Okay, you guys ready? We're doing chopping wood. At the start of the song, you're gonna be pushing the wood out of the snow, so you're going like this. And then the girls are gonna go down like this. You're holding the wood while the boys are chopping it. Brianna, you guys ready? feel happy that I'm passing down traditional dances and songs to the little kids. They can all sing and dance, so it makes me feel good and appreciated that they're dancing. I have a lot of patience for them. Keep on going over and over with the songs because they do it a lot. They know the song. The next class here, I'm going to be teaching them to sing the songs.
She encouraged her other cousins to get into drum dancing, and her strength really started to grow from there. She went traveling, seeing other people, and when you get out of here to do things like that, you do grow stronger. She traveled to places in Alaska and the exposition in Germany.
There's Keith, Nolan, Colton, Albert, Norman, Brent, Selena, and Tracy. Myself and Melanie. She's not here.
And where are we?
We're on the Rat Lake Road, just a chosen spot that's all around the berries.
Nice.
And for Sea Battery, this is my drum dancing crew. Politics, Moonlight, drummers and dancers.
She left politics to go to school too. And Inuvik is it's a tough place to stay. She has some relatives, but she had to stay in a boarding home. But even she had troubles there. She stuck through it.
I really don't like talking about the boarding home. It's a dark part that I wish I never had to go through.
And yet you made it and graduated and everything.
Yeah. I don't know how.
Like, she went to school and she completed high school in Inuvik, even after my mom passed away, and it was really hard for her. And the only support she really had was from my Aunt Lena in Inuvik and us through the phone. But then she completed that, and it's still almost the same way with her in the army. Like, she has friends there, but it's the same thing. We support her through the phone and internet and try to do our best because we can't always go visit, and it's so expensive to fly out.
Learn to survive. Renting movies at the video store. I survived that way.
Escaping?
Yeah, I rented movies a lot. Stayed home. Didn't communicate too well. I went through horrible things like losing my mom in school. So that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And after a while I just gave up. I didn't care how I felt anymore. I have no feelings.
That's one thing about her that some people won't understand. But she's been through a lot, and she's just learned how to close herself. But then that's what brings her forward, is just, just being as strong as she could be.
Because of residential school problems, the parents had so hard time to try and encourage their kids to go to school because they had trouble themselves to try and stay in school. We're getting out of that part of our lives that just made us didn't care about going to school. We're encouraging our kids, and now they're encouraging others to keep on and think big, dare to dream.
she's going forward and not quitting, and that's what I'm proud of, because like I said, it's really easy to just quit, and instead of taking that easy road, she's going through it, and that's something I'm proud of, because it's very hard to just not quit sometimes.
A lot of them are graduating now, and they're taking their choices. They're moving to places. They're making choices on their own, which is cool.
Is somebody's playground or everybody's?
No, it's theirs, but I'll just pretty much let everybody play on it. A while back they had another one, but I don't know what happened to it. The first one they had was built by their dad, but he committed suicide probably a couple of years ago. Somebody was telling me that he had set up a gun in his shack. He had pulled the string, pulled the trigger. I don't know how far back it was, but that's the story I was hearing.
Wow, that's sad, eh?
Does that happen very often up here?
No, every like 5 to 10 years or so, somewhere around there, somebody would do something like that.
Yeah.
But then again, there's a lot of youth that are my age, probably just reaching their 20s that'll try to OD. One of my friends tried to do that how many times, but he was always made it back to Inuvik and brought back. Every time I hear something about that, I always just leave it at that. Let them have their space and have that time to think it over.
Yeah.
Why do you think the suicide rates are higher in northern communities?
Probably drugs and alcohol or relationship-related stuff like that.
That happens a lot. You really love this someone, but you don't really know what's love, but you feel so passionate about this one person, and then they want to break off the relationship, and they don't want to so badly, and then they'd be like, I don't want to break this. I want to stay with you forever, or something related to that. And then they'd be like, I'm going to kill myself if you don't stay with me. And I go, that's too scary.
With suicide, it's always a touchy subject with everybody, but just to let people know there's always got to be someone there, even you think there's nobody. And that's what with me and Esther, we kept each other going. And with sometimes it was very hard, like seeing your family hurt or whatever, you just feel so lost inside. That feels of hopelessness is just not being able to help that person or helping yourself at some point. And everybody, some people have that point in their life where they feel like that they can do nothing about it and just think of, what if this is easier? But then it's not so easy, because you're leaving everything behind and you're leaving other choices behind where you could try to get help to get out of the town, or try to get counseling, or even if it is enough to go to another community and start over there, or try find support wherever you can. And I was lucky to have my sisters and brothers growing up. Yeah.
And you supported each other through everything?
Well, we got into arguments, but we did support each other.
There was just one person I really felt loved from. But every time we tried, it didn't even last long. She was always the one that left me, and one time I took it so hard I just wanted to do it, but I didn't. I started thinking about everybody around me. How bad is it going to hurt everybody? Because everybody knows everybody on here. That's the one main thing. It's so small. You have a lot of connections, everybody around. There's just so much more you can do other than having that relationship with that one person.
Hate songs. Yeah, these are all my songs in here.
This is from when you lived in Palatec too, right? Like when you were going to high school?
No, it's like when I was maybe 12, 13.
Was this like your only way of expressing anything like angry or any negative feelings?
Yeah. This is about a dad that bothered a girl, but it's all spoken. It never happened to me, but I think there's a lot of girls that dealt with that. And the only way was my way out. This girl, she has an abusive dad and stuff, and the only way she got out was running around and jumped, crying out loud, "I'm going to die, falling, falling. The pain leaves my body, falling, falling, no more fear. Falling, falling, I see my mom, no more tears." The only way she can leave him is by jumping and dying.
Hard choices. She had a long, hard run at it, and she did it. I'm proud of her. But it hurts too.
Yeah.
Knowing that she's gonna go to that place, and
Yeah. Do you ask her about Afghanistan? What does she say?
yeah, she tells me that she's gonna go help a place where there's children. And I know how that place is, so. And it's scary, and I worry every night when I start to sleep.
Yeah, what's your concept of Afghanistan? Like, what do you think it's gonna be like for her?
Tough. I know it's gonna be hard for her, more harder than where she is. But she thinks she could do it, so I'm standing right behind her.
And what do you hope for her in her future? What do you hope that your child will have in her future?
Everything. Everything that she wants. Best life for her after what she did. That's all I want for her.